Seems like we were just starting training camp, but here we are in October, and off we go on EA Sports. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line.
Down! Ready! You ready? Come on, dude! Watch the shit! 22! Hey, bye-bye.
They'll throw on first down with Ryan. Got his man. That's the Pro Bowler Julio Jones. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down.
One thing we do know, he's going to get his catches. So as they move forward defensively, got to continue to focus on not giving up the big play when he does catch the ball in the secondary.
Still a few inches short of a first down as they come up now on second down.
Hey, 59, ready! Hey, box truck!
Ryan, he'll rifle this one deep right side. And this will be caught at the 30. It's a gain of 35. All right, Charles, let me put you in the head of one of those defenders out there. You have a big play like that go against you so early. Does that shake your confidence?
It shouldn't, but it often does, because your thought process all during the week is how you're going to get after that offense and make your plays.
And he can't escape the pressure. Ryan goes down. Bernardrick McKinney muscled his way in for the sack. And, Charles, part of the reason they lost last week, they didn't have a single sack. Well, they changed that quickly.
But did they ever? And it was something they talked about with us extensively. They needed to get pressure. How were they going to get to the quarterback? Obviously, they schemed themselves into a great play, didn't they?
So second and long, and got to be careful not to fall out of field goal range.
I'm coming after you! I'm coming after you!
That'll get them some of what they needed, but they're still left here with a 3rd and 9 forthcoming.
That's a really good job right there. Just kept stringing that play out, pushing further and further towards the sideline. Really good fundamentals by that defense.
He was trying to put his foot in the ground and turn upfield. He just couldn't.
No, they really had a picket fence in front of him. No room to find to get upfield.
They got to get to the 20 to keep the drive alive on 3rd down.
Bravo!
From the shotgun, Ryan. And he's going to go down. They get to him back at the 40. Charles, a little bit of feast or famine on this drive. They moved the ball okay, but they've been sacked twice now.
And they've got to figure out how to plug that leak a little bit, right? Keep them away from the quarterback, because when he's not being hit, as you mentioned, they're moving the ball well.
That's running out of steam, and it won't get there. He left it just short. No good, and this will remain a scoreless game. Well, that opening drive looked good for a moment there, but they'll wind up being turned away thanks to the missed field goal.
And those especially hurt when you come into a game on the road. You're trying to get things to go your way early, and now you suffer a setback right out of the gate.
So the missed 56-yarder, and now the flip side. Good starting field position at the 46 near midfield. They'll run for the first time with Johnson. And no room to maneuver there. Give him a yard up to the 47.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9.
It's just me and you. It's just
a carry for Bryce Love, the 4th-rounder from Stanford. And they're well past midfield, just a yard or two shy of the 40. A pickup of 11 and a Texans first down.
And that's a run that'll energize an offensive line. They'll take that one all day long. Fundamental breakdown by the defense. You've got to be able to make plays on the edge.
Here's Watson. And this one complete to Will Fuller. They get 14 on that one. Good for a Houston first down. On first down, it's Watson. And this is caught at the 8. And he gets it all the way down inside the 10 and mark him at the 5. 23 yards on the play. From the gun, here's Watson. Flush to his right. Got a man open. It's Fuller for the Texans touchdown. Will Fuller, his 4th touchdown on the year, as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. Extra point by Fairbairn, up and good. An update from around the league as our first one comes from New Orleans. And the Bucs are out to an early lead. We'll keep you updated on that one as it progresses. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line. About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. Last time out, they had that long 50-plus yard field goal that they missed.
And I'm sure on their sideline, they're thinking to themselves, okay, do we still want to try one if we're in that position again? And I would dare say that the answer would be yes. They're going to have a lot of confidence in their kicker. But just to be on the safe side, I'm sure they told their offensive guys, can we get a little bit closer this time?
Closer.
Yeah, you know, I'd rather get in the end zone first and foremost. But if all else fails, less of a field goal attempt for him.
Once again, they'll go from the 23-yard line on 2nd and 10. To throw again. Ryan looking for McLaurin, and he's got him. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down. And, boy, they had high praise for this rookie receiver when we asked the coaches about him, didn't they?
They certainly did, and obviously they liked his measurables. Otherwise, they wouldn't have brought him onto the team. Height, weight, speed, all of that. But how about what they really said? Competitiveness. That's what they really liked about him. The way he goes after the football, competes for it, and decides when it's in the air, it's his and only his.
From the gun on 3rd down, Ryan. And he finds McLaurin. He's already topped his receiving output from a week ago, and we're just in the first quarter, as that's a first down. And just a small glimpse there as to why they like this rookie so much.
And that's why they lit up a little bit in our meetings with the coaching staff, didn't they?
When we talked about him, they did.
Yeah, you know, they like his work ethic. You know, this guy's running every route well in the route tree and getting better at it all the time. Really honing his game. They expect a pretty good jump out of him as things continue to move on.
Looking for more there on first down, but this throw downfield incomplete. The intended target was the rookie Terry McLaurin. And now it's 2nd down. That's complete to his receiver, McLaurin. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. The catch and run pays off to the tune of 35 yards. So the big play gets him all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone here for 1st and 10. Now the third leading rusher in the NFL last year, Todd Gurley. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2. Now, look, that wasn't a huge gain, but those are the types of carries I think they were missing in their loss last week. They couldn't get him going on the ground.
Did you get the same feeling I did during our meetings, that they kind of regretted that he didn't touch the ball?
Absolutely.
You know, hey, he should have touched it more last week. They weren't going to make that same mistake, and they've taken care of that early.
25! 21!
From the 16, Ryan. Escaping the pressure right. And this one taken in on the right sideline, but not in the field of play. They say it's incomplete. The throw led him a little too far. It brings up 3rd down. So the ref takes a peek here, wants to see if the receiver had possession and both feet inbounds.
If this were a college game, this would be a legal catch. It's the second foot that they're looking at to make sure it gets down. You have to have 2 inbounds in the NFL.
They missed a field goal on their last drive. Here they need something to even get into field goal range on 3rd down. They'll try and pick up the first with Gurley. And he gets the 1st down yardage before he's brought down just outside the 10 at the 11. Just 4 yards on the pickup, but that's good enough to extend the drive. After 1, 7-0 on EA Sports. One that's intercepted. Picked off at the 12. He's at the 50. 30. The 20. 10. 5. And they will score a pick 6 for the Texans TD. Charles, we've seen them target one of their main weapons time and time again. Maybe they went to that well too many times there.
Yeah, and it's so difficult to determine how many times is too many, because how many times have we seen a team go and play and say, until they stop us, we'll keep going. Well, they got stopped on that one, and it cost them 6 points.
Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll get it up past the 20 to the 22-yard line.
Let's go. Let's go.
About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. And they're in a bind early here, down 14-0. Are you worried at this stage or still too early?
You're worried. You're just trying not to transmit it to the rest of your team. You want to make sure that they stay positive. But at the same time, you're wondering, how are we going to move the football? What do we have on this play sheet that can work? Get back to basics is usually your answer. And make sure you find the guy who can move the ball fastest for you if you just get it in his hands.
Yeah, still second quarter. You get points on the board here. I think you're feeling okay.
It's just me and you. It's just me and you. 58. 28. Mike, 28.
Now Ryan on 1st down. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down.
They went with a dime look on defense. 2 extra defensive backs on the field and covered up essentially every blade of grass. That allowed them to disrupt the play.
So second down, still 10 yards to go. Ball on the 43. Now it's Ryan. Oh, he's able to outmuscle him here as he pulls it in. It's a gain of 16, first down Falcons.
A gain of 16 yards. And the Falcon first down.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10.
Hey, number 28, Mike.
Hey, Roy.
You got nothing today. You got nothing. Mike 28. Watch QB draw.
Ryan will throw again. Jones has it. And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. 12 yards is the pickup. Good for a first down for the Falcons.
Exit.
28, Mike, he's coming, check in. Hey, pick your game up.
On 1st and 10, it's Ryan. He's going to go up top for the end zone. And that's going to wind up incomplete. However, we do have a flag down.
Let's go.
Let's check in with our referee. The Falcons going to use the second of their timeouts. So as they take it over, we step aside. They'll come out in the pistol. 1st and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game. And that one covered beautifully. Their defenders stayed home, and they'll stop him behind the line. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down. Todd Gurley standing by his lonesome in the backfield here, 2nd and goal.
41 to Mike, 41. 11. Check, 41.
Hey, Charlie.
All day, every day, any day. Check it out, read. 41 Mike, right here, 41 Mike. Hey, check.
Throwing again, Ryan to the goal line, but it's incomplete.
Well, he'd been targeted quite a bit on this drive, and finally I think the guys on the defensive side, they said no more. They slapped the double coverage on him, made it very tough for him to get the ball.
3rd down and goal now, and this Houston defense not backing down. They'll look for one more stop.
Check 31. Hey, express.
Again, Ryan. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Able to get there and pick it. He's at the 50, the 30, 20, 10, and he will score. It's a touchdown.
What you just saw there, first-round talent, 2nd year, even more success. A pick 6 for a touchdown.
A great play. And it's tough for these guys, you've told me before, to adjust in the secondary as a first-year guy. So that sophomore season is big for them.
They really start to expand the playbook for them even more. Sometimes they dumb it down a little bit to make them comfortable year 1. By year 2, they should have all the nuances, and now they've adjusted to the speed of NFL play as well.
Showed right there. About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. And we don't want to call this desperation time, especially in the 2nd quarter, but you're down. No, but let me finish.
Okay, my bad.
You're down 3 scores already. You've done nothing offensively, nothing on the scoreboard. That's not a good combination.
I think you just called it desperation time. I think you did. But let's face it, you mentioned this to me in a break earlier in the game. The energy level hasn't been there right from the start. We've noticed that. They've got to find a way to get on their toes and start punching instead of retreating, to use a boxing analogy.
From the 29, Ryan under a heavy rush, and down he goes.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
So the sack pushes him back, and now 3rd and long for Ryan and the Falcons.
I'm coming. Mike 28.
Ryan slings this deep from McLaurin, and that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down. Well, he's been the guy, already over 100 yards here in the first half. Could have had a lot more if he would have been able to haul that one in.
Yeah, in fact, our statistician Marvin was already handing me a piece of paper with that yardage totaled on it. He thought that catch was going to happen just as you and I did as well.
At their own 26-yard line.
Houston's offense already at the line, set to get going. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
17 yards on the catch and run. It's a 1st down. They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. Here's Watson. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. A pickup of 11 and a Texans 1st down.
1st and 10 at the 46-yard line.
And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. Watson and the offense going to come up 1st and 10. And he's a perfect 5 for 5 here to begin the game. A shotgun snap for Watson. He's got Fuller. And he is out of bounds inside the 35. A fresh set of downs on a gain of 13 there for the Texans. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. Watson looks to throw again. He'll let this go for the end zone. And got his man. It's caught. Touchdown, Houston. Kiki QT, his first touchdown on the year. And the Texans push further out in front. Fairbairn good with the extra point. And a rout is on here in this first half. So after the touchdown, here's Fairbairn now to kick it away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And all that worked, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. Typically down to the first half, I might say, oh, you at least need a field goal out of this drive, but they're down to the point where they need a touchdown, don't they?
Yeah, normally, you know me. I mean, you've been around me for a while now, right?
Unfortunately.
I'm sorry about that. But normally, I'm the one preaching patience.
Yeah.
You know, take your time, first half, you still got a chance. I think they're out of patience here. This has to be a drive that gets a touchdown. So if you're the play caller, you're going to that portion of the sheet that says big-time plays, specials, anything you can.
And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked off by Gary and Conley. And they are going to set up shop at the 40-yard line. So that is 3 interceptions now in this first half, and you hate to ask the question, but let's be honest, we're thinking about it. Do you need to go in a different direction next series?
Potentially. We know that he's probably not going to be on the Pro Bowl ballot. That's not really his stature here, but he has been their starting quarterback for this game. So they've got to weigh things about who's behind him. Do they think he can snap it back into gear? Maybe change up the play calling to help him out a little bit.
Now the first play of the drive there is incomplete.
It's a lot of contact going on there, and in the end, unable to keep 2 hands on the football and bring it into his body.
Everything looked pretty good until the finish. Here's 2nd and 10 now from the 29. Throwing again is Watson. Rolling to his right. Deshaun Watson, so multi-dimensional, able to scramble for the first. Now the Texans will burn the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half.
50 seconds. 19, 24.
Hey, watch that. Hey, watch the ball.
Watson on first down. The quick slant caught. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion. Now the Texans will use one of their 2 remaining timeouts as the clock will stop with 35 seconds to go in quarter number 2. Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards. And he's in for the score. Touchdown, Texans. Deshaun Watson on his way to a monster game. 3 first-half touchdowns as his guys continue to put this one out of reach. Extra point by Fairbairn, up and good. And the rout is on here in this first half. So after the touchdown, here's Fairbairn now to kick it away.
Take over first and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. And you're under a minute to go in the half, a first half that hasn't been particularly kind to you. How do you think they'll play this?
Well, I think the smart approach is to run out the clock, lick your wounds at the half, and see if you can come up with a strategy to play better in the second. But there's also something to challenging your offense right here. You know, hey, guys, you help dig this hole. See if you can get us out of it a little bit before the half runs out. Let's go make some plays.
Slings this deep from McLaurin. It's caught inside the 25. And he'll take it into the end zone. Touchdown, Atlanta. Terry McLaurin in the final seconds of the first half as they are now on the board here in the first half. Koo able to connect on the extra point. And that will get him one closer. Now after the touchdown, it's Bosher to kick it away. That's fielded in the end zone. And not wanting to risk anything here late in the half, he'll just take a knee and they'll bring the football out to the 25. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. Time for a final kneel down or a safe run, and then they can head to the locker room with a lead.
Yeah, or they can even run a screen. You know, something they feel is somewhat safe that might actually pop and turn into a big play. That's what you usually run in this situation.
Or go 4 verticals because why not?
Because you're feeling it, right? You're just feeling it.
It's the Texans in front, and they're going to get the football first as we are back underway in the third quarter. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line. Houston's offense already at the line, set to get going. Running to start the drive is Love. And he's brought down, getting this one up to about the 35. That's good for a Texan first down, a 12-yard pickup. They've got the lead early here in the third quarter, and runs like that are how they established that lead in the first half.
I love the fact that you're using the word lead because they are leading from the front, pounding on the defense right now with the running game, and truly establishing themselves here in the second half.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Back to throw, Watson. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Tack McKinley. He's the one that got home and takes him down for a loss of 9. After the sack, it's 2nd and 19, and the road gets a bit tougher from here.
Another timeout.
Watson now to throw. It's complete to Fuller. Will Fuller, nobody there to stop him. Touchdown, Houston. Will Fuller, his second touchdown of the afternoon as his guys continue to pour it on. Fairbairn good with the extra point, and that will extend this big lead. So after the touchdown, here's Fairbairn now to kick it away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. They trail offense, first time to touch the ball in quarter 3, and we'll see what they can do.
And I can't wait to see what they have planned, because some teams script to start a half. Other teams just go, okay, these are the sequence of plays we want to run. These things worked well for us. And sometimes they throw in that big chunk play right away.
Shocker.
Try and get after them early and try and create a big play to give themselves some momentum.
We'll see what they have up their sleeve.
41's the mic. Watch the run. Watch the run. Hey, 41's Mike. 41's Mike.
Looking to throw again on second down. Ryan, middle of the field. He's got McLaurin. And he'll bring it up here to right at the 40-yard line. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down.
Come on.
Off the play fake. Here's Rosen. And that's caught inside the 30. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. That goes for a gain of 31. Back in the first quarter, you said it, they need to avoid the big play, but he just got a big one right there.
You can't relax. You know, we talked about in the first quarter, but as the game progresses, still opportunities, and he took advantage of one there.
On first down, it's Gurley. That's going to go as a loss of 1 on first down. Up front, the struggles continue for this offense among the line. What can they do? Change the play calling? What?
I think part of that, yes, changing some of the play calls, some screens, some draws, some misdirection. You want to run any type of a play that will influence these guys to continue to get upfield and find a way to use that against them and slip things in behind them.
Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the corner, Bradley Roby. That, Charles, the first interception he's thrown here in year number 2.
And I know it's just the first one, but didn't it feel like what we saw from him last year, where he was plagued by this type of a play? And they thought that, you know, over the offseason, going into a second season, some of that would go away. Thus far, still looks a lot like his rookie year.
And they finally get him down, but not before he gets it up to the 46. A big hitter there from deep in their own territory. 43 yards on the ground.
First and 10 at the 46-yard line.
The big play has them all the way out near midfield for a first and 10.
58.
Pretty points down, he's coming.
Out of the gun, Watson. Flushed out right. And Thomas has it. And he is brought down, but not before reaching the 30. The catch and run, good for 24 yards.
Sometimes it's designed, and sometimes you just have to know when to leave the pocket and move and make something happen. And on that play, he was able to get on the run and was still
taking it right down Broadway. Touchdown, Houston. Deshaun Watson, 4 touchdown passes now in the ballgame as his guys continue to put this one out of reach. Extra point by Fairbairn, up and good. And the lead will swell by 1 more. So after the touchdown, here's Fairbairn now to kick it away.
We got this. The Falcons take over first and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. Of course, they'd like to forget the inning, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part two, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
They'll operate from the 32-yard line here, 2nd and 3. Ryan. Blitz coming, and down he goes. Bernardrick McKinney picks up his 2nd sack of the afternoon.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line flat out cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Pick it up, defense.
5.
28. Mike, 28. Man, that's trash. That's trash.
Hey, number 28, Mike, he's coming. Check it.
On 3rd down, Ryan. This to McLaurin out on the left side. And they're able to get this one across the 35. It's a gain of 11, and the Falcons pick up the first. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38.
Hey, echo.
Check 31.
Hey, South.
Mike, 28.
Gun.
Hey,
20.
let's get off the field, D.
Hey, number 29, 25.
From the gun, it's Ryan. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked up by Justin Reed. And now off to the races down the right side. And this will be a touchdown. This D wanted to put it away before we even get to the 4th quarter, widening that margin a bit further.
And while they won't just empty the bench just yet, if you're a backup, start loosening up. I think you'll get a chance to play before this one is over now with that type of a cushion.
Fairbairn good with the extra point, and that will extend this big lead.
The Falcons take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. And fresh off the pick 6, they've got to forget about that quickly.
In this case now, the guy throwing the ball, he's got to be like what we talk about with defensive backs who get beat for a long touchdown. Short-term memory, right back out there doing the things that he does best, and knowing that taking care of the ball is paramount. Here's his opportunity.
It all comes back to those defensive backs for the former DB, right? Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. So they'll get a little extra time to come up with his 3rd down play as we've played 3 quarters. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. The Falcons on 3rd down. They've hit it 50%, 3 of 6 to this point. This is 3rd and 16.
39.
58, right over there. Yeah. Mike, 58.
Hey, seam 6.
58, boys, 58. 58, it's Mike. Hey, here we go.
Out of the gun, it's Ryan. And he's going to go down again.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
Yeah, with the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk an injury. Give him 11 yards that time on the return. And the Texans with great field position to start this drive as they take over 1st and 10.
Squeeze, double.
On 1st down, Watson. And a scary incompletion, almost picked off. It would have been their first INT of the game. Instead, 2nd down. An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. To throw is Watson. To throw again. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Adrian Claiborne. Credit him with a sack as he buries him for a loss of 10. Following the sack, it's now 3rd and long for Watson and the Texans. And not much room to operate as he'll get this up only to about the 41. The keeper nets him only a yard, and that's going to bring up fourth.
Anytime you decide to use your quarterback as a runner, most of the time when you design a play, you're expected to break a little bit bigger than this one, because when you run him on short gains, your risk-reward and him taking hits, I'm not sure that's the payoff they were looking for.
We're certainly not going to see a better punt than that. Definitely taking a chance, because if that thing clips the pylon, it comes out to the 20, but instead, it goes out of bounds at the 1-yard line.
Check, 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 check.
They'll start out on the ground with Gurley. And he's able to get this across the 10 before being taken down. 10 yards there and a first down for the Falcons. Out from the shadows of their goal line, here's 1st and 10 from the 11. Rosen will throw. Looking for McLaurin, and he's got it. And mark him down way up close to the 40 at the 39. A really good pickup of 28 yards. Rosen now 4 of 5 since coming on. It's 1st and 10. Now it's Rosen looking deep for Julio. And that's caught inside the 30. And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. A gain of 32 that time.
First down, Falcons.
So now then, the big play has him all the way inside the 30 now, 1st and 10. Play action. Ryan letting one go deep for the end zone. And he's got his star receiver. It's Jones for the Falcon touchdown. Julio Jones, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Falcons are able to make things a bit more respectable. Extra point by Koo, up and good, as they make the score just a slight bit more respectable here in the final quarter of play. That's fielded in the end zone. And the decision to bring it out is going to cost him about 7 yards all told, as he's taken down back shy of the 20. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. And this game comfortably in hand. The scoreboard speaks for itself, but you still got your starting quarterback out there. When do you go to the backup? Let him get some time.
And that's one of the great questions in the NFL, Brandon, because I'm just going to tell you, in the 2015 season, I commentated on 3 games in a row that were blowouts. And in none of them did the starting quarterback ever come out of the game for the team that had a big lead. And in each instance, I asked the coaches later on, why didn't you do that? And they all looked at me and said, just don't really do that in the NFL. These guys play, and we just play them all the way through. Now, in certain situations, they will take them out, but for the most part, they're not as worried and concerned about getting them out of the game. And that's always puzzled me a little bit.
A pickup of 11 and a Texans first down. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. Watson. Throw left side complete. It's Fuller. Another nice gain. That's now 30 yards between those last 2 plays. From Falcon territory now, here's 1st and 10 at the 34. Off the draw, here's Johnson. And not a lot of daylight, not really any daylight inside, as he's going to be stopped right at the line of scrimmage. Brings up 2nd down. Throwing on 2nd down, Watson. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's 3rd down. They come up to the line now facing a 3rd and 10 after the incompletion. From the gun, here's Watson. This one complete into the hands of Maurice Fountain. And they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals. Trying to bust out of that losing funk, and these fans have to like this. And all right, fellas, this is more like it.
And I know that if this holds up after the game, they're going to give the fans a lot of credit being at home, getting the support. But you and I both know it goes deeper than that. They had to get it together in their own facility, look each other in the eye and say, okay, what's it going to take to break this losing streak? And they really came together with a good week of practice.
At their own 25-yard line.
About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. And they're hoping to redo their efforts of the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
So one play, and they're already just shy of midfield. Now Ryan slings this deep from McLaurin. And nearly another interception. They've been around the ball all game. Another incompletion. You know, it's a wonder he's still moving around back there the number of times he's been sacked.
Yeah, he's staying out there, isn't he? And you don't think about it much in a game like this, but he's showing incredible leadership. Still competing, still fighting, not taking himself out of a ball game that appears lost.
To throw again on second down. Ryan, that's complete to his receiver, McLaurin. And he's going to be taken down with another first down as the stop's made at the Texans' 34-yard line. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's Falcon football as we welcome you back. They've got a 1st and 10 as they search for a late score. On first down, Ryan. Complete. It's a rookie from Ohio State, Terry McLaurin. 17 yards and a first down for Atlanta.
51, down.
Strip the ball.
From the red zone now, here's Ryan on first down. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Just a little bit of a rough stretch. 6 interceptions now in these last 2 weeks combined.
I know the easy thing is to go back to mechanics, footwork, things of that nature. I'm also wondering, is he getting fooled by what he's seeing on defense? Has the scouting report changed? Are they showing him things different than what he expected? For the second week in a row, he's throwing it to the guys in the wrong color shirts.
Yeah, he better figure, whatever the reason is, he better figure it out. So 2nd and inches after that first down completion went just shy of the marker. And that'll be incomplete. We do have a penalty flag down, however, and let's see what that's about. This home crowd, they're happy with that call.
I like the way you said happy there, right? The so-called good guys didn't get a call. They feel like it's been that way all afternoon. You feeling their pain?
They finally got one.
Yes, they did.
And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. Give him 6 on the play, and it'll bring up a second down. 6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. And Watson's going to throw it here. There goes a deep ball, end zone. And a flag comes in as that one falls incomplete. Well, let's see who this is on. So flag for the contact, pass interference.
And I know that you're going to look at me and roll your eyes, and rightfully so, because you know what I'm going to say. Doesn't the defender have a right to the football?
And he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly. I tell you, Charles, you play to the final whistle, I get that, but there are a few folks that might not be too happy with that score late in the game with it already well in hand.
You seem a little squeamish about that last score.
I struggle with it. I struggle. But on the other, the argument, I get it, on the other side is, hey, do something about it. Stop them.
I guarantee you, I know who was really excited. Fantasy owners who had them. Hey, listen, get the points from me. They're not worried about hurt feelings or anything like that. That's just new age stuff.
That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. They are just obviously getting shellacked here on this one, Charles. What's the message if you're a coach for this final drive in a lopsided game like this?
For a lot of coaches,
be honest.
Don't forget today. Don't forget what has happened out here.
Yeah, use that as ammo going forward.
Exactly. Take a great look at that scoreboard. Realize how poorly everything went for us today, coaching, playing, the whole deal. And never forget it, because
you're not going to want that feeling.
No, you don't want that feeling again. And who knows? You may meet up with this team again.
And he's going to get a good gain of 9 here up to the 34. They had the catch on second down, but it didn't help at all, and now they're looking at third down here. A big offensive explosion helped leading them to victory, and the defensive guys, they're just saying, hey, put those points up every week, we'll just keep winning.
They will gratefully accept them, won't they? It makes their job that much easier when they're scoring that many points, allows them to play with a totally different style and a different flow.
So for the Texans, they move back over 500 at 3-2 now on the year. And they will hit the road next week to take on the Kansas City Chiefs. Meanwhile, for the Falcons, they'll fall to 1-4 with a loss. And they'll try to rebound next week as they head to Glendale to take on the Cardinals. And for Charles Davis and our entire crew here at EA Sports, I'm Brandon Gaudin saying so long, everybody.
Switch 90 day of mine.